watching Central Florida's CW18.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
Tourists visiting Orlando's attractions were shocked tonight after hearing an explosion.
Metal canister, kind of falling from the sky.
What fire officials say may have caused the explosion and sent that piece of metal flying a football field away. And the House of Representatives votes yes to sending billions of dollars of aid to Israel and Ukraine. But Speaker Mike Johnson's fight isn't over. The threats from some of his own party members to take away his gavel. And the Orlando Magic are in the playoffs for the first time in years, and the fans say it's their time to shine. The excitement from fans, even if this game didn't turn out quite as they were hoping for. All right, Orlando investigators are looking into what caused an explosion at a hotel on University Boulevard. People were evacuated from the Best Western Gateway Hotel tonight. WESH 2's Paola Tristan Arruda spoke to people who were nearby when it all happened. Well, officials say that they aren't sure if the carbon dioxide cylinder is the source of what happened or just debris that was thrown off, but investigators are working to determine an exact cause. In Orange County tonight, or in Volusia County rather, a registered sex offender is facing almost 50 child pornography related charges after deputies say that they stopped him from riding a bike into land. They say that he originally gave deputies a fake name.
How do you not know your first name? Yeah.
Deputies say 24-year-old Joshua Job was initially arrested for providing false information and violating his probation. Investigators say they also found a cell phone on him that had explicit images of children. They say that he was not supposed to have the phone or access to the internet. As part of his probation, he is now being held on no bond. In Orange County now, a man is in critical condition after he was shot by a deputy. This one happened at the Indigo Winter Park Apartments off of Semorin Boulevard at around 10:30 last night. There were reports of a man pointing a gun at people. When deputies arrived on the scene, they heard a gunshot. The suspect did have a gun in hand. Deputies fired their weapon at him. That suspect was taken to the hospital. Again, he is in critical condition tonight.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement will conduct an investigation, turn their findings over to the state attorney's office. From there, we will conduct our own internal investigation, and thankfully, all of our deputies are okay.
Well, the deputies recovered the gun that was on the suspect. The deputy who fired the shot is now on paid administrative leave pending an investigation. No other injuries were reported. In Volusia County tonight, a driver faces charges accused of running from deputies in Deltona and trafficking drugs. Take a look.
Motor 40 got a stick hit,
Deputies say that a BMW was going more than 100 miles an hour when it took off from a deputy on I-4. They say that vehicle was hit with stop sticks, as you just saw there, and did not make it after that, or very far after that. Deputies also recovered several drugs from the car, including cocaine and ecstasy. Kevin Rivera was behind the wheel and threw a handgun into the woods when he eventually stopped. He is now facing a slew of charges, including fleeing and eluding and tampering with evidence. Tonight, 2 people are dead after an SUV crashes into their motorcycle in Marion County. This one happened last night at around 10 p.m. The motorcycle the motorcycle that was riding down State Road 25 near Southeast 104th Trail. The SUV tried to turn left but didn't see the motorcycle and hit it. The 25-year-old man and 22-year-old woman were thrown off of that motorcycle and killed. The SUV driver was taken to the hospital for injuries. In Orange County, a 61-year-old woman is dead after being hit by a car in Orlando. Troopers say that woman was walking on West Colonial Drive near Dorser Road last night when she was hit by a Mercedes. They say that she was not in a marked crosswalk. She died at the hospital. The driver and passenger of the Mercedes were not hurt. Turning things over now to our weather, let's check in with our first warning meteorologist, Marquise Mita. Marquise, some gorgeous temperatures out there today. Tonight and tomorrow, is it going to be more of the same?
Maybe give or take a degree or two, Luana. We were back in the 90s for the second consecutive day here in Orlando, and you actually hit 90 degrees here in Daytona as well. So we really brought some heat into your early weekend forecast. Now, a couple clouds will enter the picture as we continue throughout the rest of the evening, courtesy of an East Coast sea breeze, but overall it will be a warm finish to your Saturday night. Now, with those winds coming in from the east, we'll pick up some moisture as well. We've got a good chance for some fog, especially across our northernmost communities, but that fog will lift as temperatures bounce back tomorrow. Should be returning to the upper 80s, but we do have a dreary Monday start to your work week. In fact, we do run the risk of a marginal chance for severe thunderstorms. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. Not calling it an impact day just yet, but we'll see the rain and strong gusty winds to start off your work week. Currently, though, temperatures do remain in the low to upper 70s depending on where you are, so still a very warm start to your evening. Likely to stall out in the mid 60s as we kick off your Sunday morning, but you see those temperatures already moving into the 80s by the noontime hour. But here's what we're watching out for. It's the next cold front slowly inching its way across the southeast, and this could potentially pack a bit of a punch on Monday. We'll take a closer look coming up next time I see you.
All right, Marquise, thank you. Meanwhile, the major foreign aid bills just passed by the House after months of fiery debate. As the House passes billions in aid for Israel and Ukraine, they also passed a bill that could potentially ban TikTok. NBC's Julie Sirkin reports the foreign aid vote has now split the Republican Party. Well, the Senate will take up the bills as one complete package as early as Tuesday. It is likely going to pass, and President Joe Biden says he will sign it. And for the first time in 4 years, the Orlando Magic played in the NBA playoffs, but things didn't start off how the team had hoped for. Still, the Magic lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers this afternoon, but fans flocked to downtown today to watch the game. WESH 2's Haley Crumble-Home was at a watch party where the excitement was just getting started. Oh, the excitement. Well, WESH 2 Sports was in Cleveland tonight on the road with the Magic. We're going to have a full recap of today's game coming up later on tonight in sports. Ahead of Earth Day, hundreds of volunteers spent part of their weekend giving back to the planet. How the people leading this cleanup are hoping to inspire the next generation. And a guest that you wouldn't want to see on your doorstep, where neighbors were shocked to see this massive gator out on a late night stroll. That's coming up next. Welcome back tonight. More than 100 volunteers in Sanford, including children, picked up trash today to keep their city clean. As WESH 2 Tonight Give It a Get a Guess reports, the kids say that they want to protect their future ahead of Earth Day. Well, some groups even traveled on kayaks to pick up litter at different parks in the county. Today's event was part of the St. John's Riverkeepers month-long cleanup. To also celebrate Earth Day, which is on Monday, people lined up to pick up a free tree in Osceola County. County Commissioner Brandon Arrington gave away trees at Valencia College's Point Siena campus. Some of the trees native to Florida include bald cypress, winged elm, and southern live oak. Florida Atlantic University, or FAU, is working to clean up the sargassum seaweed on our state's beaches. The massive blobs of brown seaweed typically come ashore during these warmer months. And when it does, the seaweed can create an unpleasant experience for those going to the beach and spark environmental issues. The Florida Department of Emergency Management gave FAU's Oceanographic Institute a $1.3 million grant to study ways to remove the seaweed without impacting other parts of the ecosystem. Take a look at this. An alligator decided to take a stroll through a Fort Myers neighborhood this week, causing neighbors, of course, to pull out their cell phones, as we all do nowadays.
He's trying to get inside.
Oh, he just hit your door.
He knocked the door.
Sierra Grant noticed the gator hiding under her neighbor's car Thursday night. The reptile walked 2 houses over where you can see it at the front door in the video. Maybe it wanted to borrow some brown sugar. I don't know.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The neighbors decided not to stay outside too long. The next morning, when the gator made another appearance, it was removed by wildlife officials. But thank goodness that the friend saw the gator underneath the person's car. Could you imagine going to your car and there's a gator that jumps out suddenly?
That'd be quite the startle, right?
Right.
Well, thankfully he didn't run over the gator either, so that's good too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he didn't get his sugar.
He's going door to door. Maybe he was selling Girl Scout cookies. I don't know.
Could be. Gator boots.
Gator boots. You would have been gator boots if you got ran over.
That's true. All right, what's going on outside?
We'll take you outside right now. Gator weather as we were trending warm this afternoon, and we'll be warm tonight. Temperatures still hanging around the 70s in Port Canaveral, where we do have clear skies out the door, 77 degrees. We do have a pretty consistent breeze from the south. Coming in at 13-mile-per-hour speeds. Now, winds will dial back as we continue throughout the rest of your evening, but we'll see cloudier conditions as we wake up tomorrow. Here's a look at surrounding cities and their current temperatures. Your coolest out towards Ocala, 71 degrees there. Palm Coast, only 2 degrees warmer, 73. And we're still clinging on to the upper 70s across the coastline. In New Smyrna, also Melbourne, both showing 77-degree current temperatures. As we take you through the next 12 hours here in Orlando, we'll transition from partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy conditions just before sunrise, and then we see temperatures dipping down into the upper 60s. So still a warm evening for us, and we have to keep in mind it might be a foggy start to the morning. Some of that patchy fog will be courtesy of the south and easterly wind flow that we had today, picking up some of that Atlantic coast moisture, but we do see a lot more cloud coverage early out the door on Sunday. Clouds will break apart slowly over time throughout the afternoon and into the evening. We do see a mix of sun and clouds still, but our northernmost communities might see a couple sprinkles of rain late Sunday afternoon, but your better chance for showers, that's going to be a Monday event. So for tonight, patchy fog is still in the forecast. Temperatures should wind down anywhere between the low 60s or the upper 60s, so we're above seasonal no matter where you look. And then tomorrow, we might be a few degrees cooler than we were today. Ultimately, we're trying our best to stay dry. There's about a 10% chance for rain showers due to a pop-up shower on Sunday. Nevertheless, though, across the Orlando-Sanford International Airport, we're watching the Blue Angels take off once again. With increased wind speeds in the afternoon, we'll have another breeze anywhere between 15, maybe 20 miles per hour at its fastest, but ultimately temperatures should possibly squeeze into the lower 90s if you are in Orlando. So another warm finish to your weekend, but what we're watching out for on Monday is going to be the threat for severe weather coming our direction. It's a marginal threat issued by the Storm Prediction Center. So a 1 out of 5 in which the primary impact, that's going to be the strong winds associated with the cold front pulling through central Florida. Here's a look at that frontal system, right? We see a lot of the precipitation get squeezed out before the front even gets here. So we're mainly looking out for the winds. We'll still have the chance for some heavier showers here and there, but ultimately another big impact is the sharp temperature drop-off, and that does indicate that we have a very strong pressure gradient or temperature thermal gradient surrounding that front. So here's a look at those winds. Monday late in the afternoon, 30 to 40 mile per hour speeds likely along the coast, and then we kind of quiet down after that. We mentioned we do need the rain showers, though. We could see up to 1/4 of an inch here in Orlando. A little bit more rain further to our south, above 1/2 of an inch as you swing across Polk County into Winter Haven, but that looks to be the last of the rain that we'll see throughout the work week as we do show those temperatures falling back into the lower 80s on Monday. Then we are trending dry for the rest of your work week with temperatures rising into the upper 80s Friday and Saturday.
Did something bad happen last night? Because I feel like something bad happened last night. Jordan's mad at me. I fought with all my friends. Tell Wade Waters what's up. And I woke up at Wade Waters' place.
Like in bed with him?
No, fool.
All American, Monday at 8 on CW18.
We got a hostage situation.
He says, Jessica, we're the American military. You're safe now.
Hostage Rescue, series premiere, Tuesday, May 14th.
No one's gonna mess with Blind Girl.
You keep going alone. I'm not alone.
I've got you. Sight unseen.
Wednesday at 9.
Well, 25 years ago, the U.S. was shocked after 2 gunmen opened fire at Columbine High School. How the tragedy has changed how we view school safety and how it could be impacting our children.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
Right now in Seminole County, deputies are still looking for a man in connection to the deadly carjacking of Catherine Aguas Vivas. 27-year-old Giovanni Joel Crespo Hernandez was identified as a person of interest yesterday. Deputies say he might be the last person Aguas Vivas talked to before everything happened. Officials are still looking for another person who was in the green Acura at the time of the carjacking. Switching things over to our weather, let's check in with First Warning meteorologist Marquise Mira. Marquise, today's high hitting the 90-degree mark. Looking good out there.
Yeah, we had back-to-back days of highs hitting the 90s, Luana. We might make it a nice, even 3. I know 3 is not even, but I like things that come in 3s. For tonight, though, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Those are back in the picture. upper 70s out the door, so still warm if you plan on heading up downtown. And what's keeping us nice and warm, not only the clouds above us, but we do have surface winds from the south and the southwest, and that southerly direction is keeping temperatures nice and comfortable this evening. A little bit cooler as you head further north, 73 in Palm Coast, 71 out towards Ocala, but the majority of us show fairly uniform temperatures, anywhere between the mid and the upper 70s. As for the rest of the evening, well, across our beaches, we'll see temperatures cruise into the middle of the 60s. Still cloudy to start off the morning, and we're going to be trying our best to shake free of the clouds in the afternoon. Nevertheless, though, here's what we're getting ready for. It's going to be our next cold front, our next big weather system. Moving across your Monday forecast, you see those stronger showers, though, across western Texas. Well, those will be inching towards us by Monday afternoon, giving us some much needed rain. And we'll take a look at how many inches we could possibly see in the rain gauge coming up next time I see you.
Thank you, Marquise. Meanwhile, today marks a very somber milestone. 25 years since Columbine, one of the deadliest school shootings in our country's history. Well, this week, students who attended that school honored those lives lost. But as NBC's Rahima Ellis reports, it was also a reminder of how that day changed the conversation about school safety forever. Well, this weekend, the Blue Angels are here in Orlando. Take a look. Hear them miles away. If you don't see them, you might just hear them flying by. Coming up, we're going to take you behind the scenes of their stunning air show.
This week on Matter of Fact,
The fight for equality lands on the football field.
We took the stand.
His message to young athletes about the power of their play.
You're watching Central Florida's CW18.
Well, Jeeps are taking over Daytona Beach this week for this year's Jeep Beach festivities. Today's events include a scavenger hunt, restaurant tour, and the official kickoff meet and greet. Things continue tomorrow with the Jeep Beach 5K and Fun Run and the annual Cornhole Tournament. Jeep Beach festivities last through next Sunday. The last day to enjoy the thrilling air stunts of the Orlando Air Show is going to be tomorrow. The Blue Angels, they are headlining the air show this weekend. Our first warning meteorologist, Eric Burris, spent a lot of time with them this week. He takes us behind the scenes and shows us what it takes to achieve the intense stunts up in the sky. Well, the Blue Angels are performing alongside other fantastic pilots, as you just heard from Eric, including the Air Force F-22 Raptor demo team. If you missed out on the show today, don't worry. Tickets for tomorrow's show are still available. Gates open back up tomorrow at 9 a.m. So get your tickets. Look at Eric Burris out there looking like Top Gun. I love it. I love the level of precision when you see those Blue Angels together. And even when they come out and they walk, it's like they're all in sync with each other.
They're walking in unison.
They walk in unison, yes.
I think the coolest thing that Eric was mentioning is that they fly so close together. The tips of their wings are about 18 inches apart with their tightest maneuvers.
And that means that, if one slight deviation could be problematic and catastrophic. So
yeah.
that's what's so intense about it.
A lot can go wrong, especially if they have to take into consideration the weather too. A lot can go wrong.
Yes, yeah, a little breeze or wind, something we didn't get today.
No, a lot was going right in today's forecast. As a matter of fact, as many of us return to the 90s this afternoon under mostly clear skies. In fact, I think we're still sporting those clear conditions for our westernmost communities like Ocala, where temperatures are now back in the lower 70s, 71 degrees out the door here at 10:47. Now, we do see a slight breeze from the west that'll pick up some of the Gulf Coast moisture, and that may be responsible for increasing the humidity later on tonight, in which we could wrap up your Saturday evening with foggy conditions. So just something to watch out for as you wake up on Sunday morning. So 71 in Ocala, as we mentioned, 73 in the Villages. The further south you go, it looks like the warmer temperatures still are. Upper 70s for Winter Haven and Kissimmee, 77 and 78 degrees. Ultimately, as we continue throughout the evening, it depends on where you are. We'll see a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies tonight as temperatures settle anywhere between the lower 60s and the upper 60s. And that patchy fog, well, that'll start to settle into Marion, also Sumter, Lake County, as we see your visibility going below a statute mile, down to a half actually across Ocala, the Villages, and Wildwood. So some dense fog out that direction, but the fog will quickly lift as temperatures, those tomorrow, are back on the rise. Throughout the day tomorrow, though, we are in and out of the cloud coverage, and then our northernmost communities have a chance of some pop-up showers sneaking their way back into the forecast. We see the showers across north and eastern Marion County, across Flagler County as well. You might get a sprinkle of rain before Sunday is said and done, but the better rain chance, that comes your way on Monday. So tomorrow, it's a mild start to the day, upper 60s in Orlando. Got that early fog lifting quickly, and then mostly to partly cloudy skies are what we're expecting later in the afternoon, as high temperatures should range between the middle of the 80s and the lower 90s. We are a little bit breezy at times tomorrow with a predominant south and westerly wind, anywhere between 15 and 20 miles per hour. We mentioned that rain showers should be returning on Monday, but they will come equipped with a marginal chance for severe weather. Gustier winds, that's going to be one of the problematic features with our next cold front moving in. We could possibly see some wind gusts get up to maybe 40 miles per hour, but as far as the rain is concerned, we'll see it first across I-75, a couple lighter showers perhaps on Monday morning. Then as we move further into the day, it's a I-4 corridor threat that does have the chance for some rain, and that'll continue to push off towards the east, likely wrapping up just in time for dinner on Monday. And then we're much drier, much sunnier on Tuesday. As we mentioned, the winds are a great factor in the forecast Monday. We see the strongest gusts across I-95, 30 to 40 mile per hour speeds with the passage of our next cold front. And as far as rain is concerned, we desperately need it. We're about 2.5 inches shy of our year-to-date seasonal average for rain, but we're likely only getting a quarter, maybe half of an inch, depending on where you are across the I-4 quarter, and then we're dry for the rest of the work week. A cool start, though, coming your way on Monday. We drop down to 80 degrees, but day after day, we keep on rising until we're back in the upper 80s on Friday and Saturday.
All right, coming up in sports, huge day for the Orlando Magic, back in the postseason for the first time since 2020, since they had the playoff in the bubble here in Orlando. Today in Cleveland, a bit of a daunting debut for this squad. Kristen Lago is there. We will check in with her next.
Everybody got a rebound down from the three-point.
Watch Big Bang. Weeknights at 7, 7:30, and 11 on CW18. When the world's best magicians
What you're about to see next is going to defy logic.
try to fool
I bet you have no idea where this trick is going.
the best magicians in the world,
We busted you. We figured it out. You didn't fool us.
something magical
Abracadabra.
is bound to happen.
It's just perfect. Brilliant. You've been plotting on how to take us down. You fooled us.
Penn and Teller Fool Us. Friday at 8 on CW18.
Now, WESH 2 Sports on CW18. Sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Welcome to the postseason. Hello, everybody. I'm Darren Stoltzfus. This afternoon in Cleveland, most of the Magic players were making their playoff debuts, and at times that was pretty evident. The physicality, the intensity, pretty much everything elevated. And offensively, Orlando just could not counter. All right, Gators avoid a sweep in Nashville, top Vanderbilt 6-2. Jack Caglione, he's now 5-0 on the Hill, but did not extend his home run streak. That is it for sports. Back over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Darren. Meanwhile, we are following some breaking news tonight. 4 women are facing charges accused of attacking a woman in Melbourne and taking a 6-year-old child. The women were believed to be related to the child's father, and officers say that they threatened the woman with the knife before leaving in an SUV. That SUV was later spotted in Columbia County, where the suspects were arrested. The child was recovered. They were not hurt. Each woman is facing multiple charges and awaiting extradition to Brevard County. That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. WESH News at 11 starts right after the break.